All right, welcome to class 3, part 2, the painter's blueprint, unlocking strong composition and value. We just spent the first half of the class looking at your guys' work and really thinking about how thumbnails and sketches work together. Now we're going to be doing a continuation of the last class where we were beginning to explore color, temperature, and how do we kind of jump into a painting. You don't always have to have a black and white underpainting. In fact, I don't often do that. But just having your sketch, your design, and then the next stage. So imagine what we have there on the easel is almost like a thumbnail sketch that could be literally in a sketch pad or anything else. And we're going to approach the painting. The next step I would do is to do a little color chart, or just deciding what colors I want to do. So we're going to have a discussion, and as always, paint by committee. So my reference photo is this, which if you guys know my work, you know I love warm colors and everything else. Last week, we did a bunch of just kind of undercolor paintings with different ideas of colors, right? So this is just kind of all earthy plus a little bit of purple pink, earthy but more red. And then one that people seem to respond to was very sun, I don't know, very dusk, I guess. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this photo. I like my sketch a lot better than the photo. This one has a lot of awkward shapes and weird things going on. So I'm pretty happy with the shape and the design. But now I have to come up with a whole new set of problems, or try to resolve a whole new set of problems. Is what color do I want this, right? So as we look at this, what I start to do oftentimes, because I like to make up my colors a lot of the time or push my colors, is, you know, just kind of almost, it's like a mental game of what if it was this color, right? Bright yellow, that doesn't work. It's morning or evening, it's foggy, right? Indian yellow, that's a fun transparent color. I've got a warm cadmium red light. That's going to be something. That'd be exciting, but I'm just kind of skimming my eye across and then thinking of all the transition colors. So between these, this quinacridone red and this ultramarine blue, I've got purples. Can also do purples here. I've also thrown on the phthalo green, which we used last week, strangely enough, to get this color combination. So I'm almost thinking of, could I combine these two color schemes, right? I've got the light coming up between this foggy morning, but I've also still got all these cool purples and blues and grays. But I would also like to hear your guys' ideas of what you think. What would you do if you were looking at this? What color scheme might you come up with? And it doesn't have to be a single color. It can be lots of colors, you know, coming across. And again, as we've got dissipated soft light back here, as that light comes forward, we're going to begin to see more of the natural color that is in like the grasses, in the water, in the bank, into the beach area over here. And then it gets more and more, I guess for lack of a better word, infected, affected by the soft, hazy light back here. What colors would you guys like to see in this?
I'd love to see how you do that transition that you just described.
Which one?
The where you have both the warm and the warm, cool, the warm colors in the background and the cool color. It would just be interesting to see how you work the transition between those, all those.
Okay, so let's just say that this is, I mean, very foggy, early morning light, right? The sun is rising behind here. Can you guys kind of visualize that?
Yeah.
Okay, so then this is our warmest area, right? Thusly, our coolest area is going to be in the shadows here and here. Because there's atmosphere, that light is, and I've talked about this before, about sheets of gossamer, right? Where it's softening everything. Everything's getting infused with that soft light and a warm light from the behind. So as we move forward, things will actually get cooler, but that warm light is still affecting the edges or whatever areas are being touched by that warm light.
I would be really tempted to do like a an orangey coral and maybe like little bursts of red on the horizon, and then as it comes forward, have it be like these lavender and peachy kind of tones. I would just want to go in that direction because it's like so calming to look at, but I would want something that is like discordant, I guess, in there. But that's just because I'm a closeted goth girly, I guess. I want things to be spooky and uncomfortable.
No, but I mean, that's true, you are. But but at the same time, yeah, that's exactly right though. That's how nature kind of works, and how the warm colors will softly silhouette, but then you got your shadow areas. It's almost like a battle between cool shadows, warm light, and how do they meet, right? So we can't think of it as a flat image. We have to think of all of our shapes. These grasses roll over, right? This bank of grasses rolls over. The water goes back, right? We have to think of 3 dimensions as we are creating things in 2 dimensions. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly, hopefully, pre-mix a couple colors that are going to represent the big area. So I can, in the very beginning, if it's going to be something simplistic, I'm just trying to find a good example. Like this, where it's cool and warm, right? You see where the light comes closer, or the light is able to hit, the fog becomes warmer, the reflections become warmer, but where things are in shadow, they become cooler and warm as they get towards those edges. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I want to think like this, but with a different color scheme. And there's nothing that's wrong or right. I could do this in any amount of ways. So this is what's so fun, is if we get a value structure built, a design, then we can have so much fun with the colors. All right, does anybody want to disagree with the Australian?
For me,
Never.
Good luck.
For me,
Good luck.
for me, the picture is very peaceful, very tranquil, before the world has really woken up.
Right.
The birds haven't started really singing yet, and nothing's moving. And I think it would be a shame to jazz it up so that it jars with the image. I would have thought that the colors must blend with the emotion of the picture.
Okay. So we have this as our reference, right? And this feels hot and warm, right? But what if we do cool it down and bring warm light through it?
Michael, what
Coolness.
What if it was peachy pink with warm sun coming up among the trees,
Mm-hmm.
and then more natural and cooler, like blues and greens up front?
Well, Linda, I just happen to have painted something like that, very similar.
There it is.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Right? But it's too intense, right? This is
Yeah.
fog.
I like the
Like this has a
softer
little bit
pink.
of fog on the ground, but we want dissipated soft light.
Yeah.
Pale.
So this wouldn't work here, but we can take ideas from here. So let me grab another one where it's just a hint of light and warmth, but it's super soft and cool.
Yes, even cooler than that. Even
Even cooler than that. Oh man, you're lucky I have a whole gallery's worth of artwork sitting on my wall that I can grab.
Yes, that's
Yes, more
yeah,
like
that's
that.
what-
Maybe a little more color in the background.
yeah,
Okay.
that's a whole lot
the-
closer
the peachy color could go higher on the up.
and a little more purple,
Yes,
lavender.
Paintings everywhere.
it
Paintings near and
takes a
far.
whole
Let
class.
us use our hands and feet to count how many paintings there are.
No, go back to the other one.
No.
Oh my God, I loved that. Whatever that last one was with that red sun or
The
moon,
needles.
I want to be there.
Come to Oregon. We'll feed you.
Oh,
You guys are thinking more like this?
Yeah,
Yeah.
A little, yeah, more like that.
Okay, I'm
But
trying to
with
see.
bright, for me, it would need more color in the sky because
a little more
that
lavender.
horizon is covered up. So
Yeah,
It's more like the bottom one. The red and the purple one. I love that.
yeah.
I
But
It has to be
little bit
soft,
clear.
but it
like
has
that
to
one
be
too.
soft. It has
Yeah.
to be soft light.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I like the larger one.
Yeah, a larger
Yeah,
one, a
I
little
like the larger
softer,
one
like
too.
that. Yeah,
More
little
like
softer
this.
colors.
Yeah.
Yes.
A bit.
But we have to soften these. So these will have
Yes.
to be much cooler or warmer
Cooler.
because,
Cooler.
for lack of a better word, infected. They're infected by the soft. If you think about fog, it is a bunch of particulates where the light is bouncing around within it. So if the light is back here, all these particulates of moisture as we come forward, they get less and less and less, but that light is what's so interesting back there.
Mm,
That makes sense?
yeah.
I know we're artists, we hate science, but
I like science.
I'm trying to see if I have any.
I
I have a
just
bunch
used
of unfinished ideas of things like this, which I can grab.
I have this book called The Secret Language
Lovely.
of Color,
Like that.
and
It's lovely.
Nice.
Oh, wow.
I like the other one, the one
Yeah.
you just held up.
Yeah.
That one,
Yeah.
I like
Love
that.
That's more like what the picture is in general.
Yeah,
it's
that's
very
true.
copper, like the metal when it actually starts to tarnish and it gets that green to it. Oh,
Patina.
Verdigris.
yeah, yeah. Oh my God, I love that.
Too.
Okay, so
Perfection.
this goes against my initial concept of, now I got to dig through the pile of pictures I've just pulled out.
More
Yeah, no,
soft,
what a difference, right?
Yes. Yes.
And so that's what's so fun and so frustrating about creating like a value study, a value painting that I get to. But the good news is that's just painted on paper or a cardboard. So this is still an experiment. So I've got an interesting value thing that I think reads pretty well. Now I get to decide.
Hey, Michael, I'm not sure if I brought over or sent those gels, but it's kind of fun. You could hold a gel up that is a clear, paper that's blue or green or yellow and just kind of.
Right. No, I don't think so. I don't think I've seen them. And that's literally all these notes, I'm just digging through my piles of sketches, literally from previous classes. It's like, that's what's so fun. These are both based on Linda Camarada's photos.
Gorgeous.
And it's just, these are just notes, right? These are just fun, painted on cardboard.
Beautiful.
Yeah, they're great. But they're just ideas for future paintings, right? And nothing's right, nothing's wrong. Like either of these could work even within this painting. But that's what you kind of want to build is here's a painting that Sandy and I did together.
Oh, it's lovely.
Wow.
Oh,
Gorgeous.
Love that
gorgeous.
sky.
Remember together? And yeah, it's so fun. And I love I mean, it looks so different under any lighting conditions, this
That
little
is so
floaty
pretty.
cloud.
Beautiful.
Yeah. But so that's, you know, whenever you're frustrated by your paintings or you don't know, they're just notes for another painting.
Yeah.
They're all about lessons. Okay. So with all that said, I have no idea where we're at with this painting. What did we decide?
Well, why don't you put some peach in there, light peach, until you get a feel for how it looks. I mean, you can brighten it up and put more color, but if you start with a really light color first and see how it feels.
Oof.
So we're thinking about the sky and the reflection of the sky.
Right.
I'm not hearing Michael. Is that just me?
No, he's not talking.
I'm hyperventilating.
We can't hear you gasping.
Yeah. Why do I do this in front of people? It's hard enough by myself.
Well, you asked for a committee.
Yeah.
No, that is exactly right. And that's what I want us all to realize, that this is open-ended and we can't go wrong. And the cool thing about once you have a black and white acrylic painting is I can put these colors on, decide I've made horrible choices, and take my paper towel and a bit of paint thinner and wipe it back off. It'll stain a little bit, but I really get a second chance. Hopefully we won't need it. Are any of these colors? Okay, so what was our idea? We're going to do warm coming through. So it'll be more peachy, reddish, and then it'll get cooler as it comes forward, except for the perimeter edges will be warmish. And then the reflection of the sky and the water will kind of mirror each other, but they'll get cooler as it goes from the bottom, warmer as it goes towards the top, and vice versa, cooler towards warmer. All right, ready.
Perfect.
What color are our shadows? Do we want to go to blues, purples, greens, or all of the above?
All of the above.
All of the above.
Opposite.
Okay, so we are going to know that the light, as it's coming through with soft light especially, if we decide it's these roughly in this area, we'll fix those. But that's a soft, warm, permeable light. It's infecting these areas, even in the shadows, because it's foggy. It's wrapping around, right? Because within those water particles, everything's just bouncing, right? So this can all be warm-ish. As we come forward, there's less water particles, less fog. So then the darks become darker and cooler, right? We can get up to this point where we could actually see the true colors, like the greens of the grasses and the different things. And then that's going to dissipate as it goes back as well.
That's perfect.
Does that make sense though?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. Taking my quinacridone red and my manganese blue to create kind of a purple, which if I add any bit of yellow to this, does it appear purple to you guys? Kind of a dark purple?
Yeah.
Add
Yeah.
a little bit of white so you can kind of see it. As soon as I begin to add any yellow to that purple,
Green.
it will begin to neutralize because yellow is the opposite of purple. So I can gray that purple down, not by adding black or white, but by adding yellow. Can you guys see that transition?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So I always thinking about the opposite color. So let's just say that I want my horizon area above the tree line here to be really quite bright and light. You guys have all looked into fog where it almost feels brighter than
Yeah.
if it wasn't foggy. So I can get really bright and light right along here. And that's also going to reflect a little bit into the water, right? And then I can think about my shadows, my darks. And all I have to do for that is just grab a little pinch of all of my colors. Less yellow, more blue, a bit of red. And I can create beautiful, rich darks, right?
Right.
And if I begin to think about these dark colors as getting cooler in the shadows where no light is getting in, right? The fog's not making the light bounce around at all. Then I can go to darker blue, or a darker cool color, I should say. Where that light is, it's still a soft light, it's still bouncing around, then I can let it warm up a little bit. Are you guys seeing those color shifts a little bit from a cool dark blue to a slightly warmer? And let's let that lighten up a little bit. So what I'm thinking about is this transition in here from my cool shadow areas to slightly warmer areas to where the light's starting to wrap around. I think one of the greatest advancements I ever had in my painting career was when I began to see the two-dimensional space as 3 dimensions and literally visualize the creek coming towards me, the grasses having a backside that I can't see, rolling across and coming towards me. So as the light's behind them, it's getting more. On the top, it's getting whatever reflected light from the sky, and then coming towards me into the shadow area that's getting none of the direct light. Unless there's something that's reflecting that light, like a creek could be reflecting the light from the sky to the creek back into these grasses, but that may be getting a little ahead of ourselves. Does that make sense? How I try to visualize a 2-dimensional space in a 3-dimensional way?
Yes.
Even these trees that are further back, they're just going to have less of a differentiation, right? You're not going to see the form of those as much. I'm also always looking at my color scheme and going, okay, these are really jumpy. These are huge transitions. It's going to make a very ugly, splotchy painting at this point. So how can I harmonize my colors, make them play nicely together? And a lot of times that's by finding subtle transitions between them, or by thinking about their value shifts and bringing them closer together. That makes sense?
Mm-hmm.
So we have value, we have chroma, which just means the strength of the color. And we have softness of edge and softness of gradation between colors. I was actually hoping this whole part of it would go faster and I would impress you, but I'm not happy with what I've mixed yet. And I don't want to jump too quickly forward.
Mm.
I actually don't like any of the colors I've mixed over here.
Mm.
I'm pretty happy with the light areas.
Could you start
Mm.
with those and then kind of see how you feel?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I think.
You
I
mean
Never
wonder-
got in
I
trouble
was just
doing that.
wondering.
Never got in trouble doing that. So
I was just wondering. You originally were talking about using the quinacridone green to create the shadow area, and I was just wondering if that would work, or is that too close to the yellow?
I think you meant the phthalo green.
Yes, sorry, phthalo green. Yeah. Is that too close to the yellow to be a decent shadow because it's not perhaps far enough away?
well, no, you're onto something there.
If you
So,
mix,
but look how bright that is, how cartoony of a color.
Yeah, sure.
So let's just go ahead and put a little bit on there so you can see. I'm gonna wipe it away,
no,
and it even becomes brighter.
put red
Yeah.
with it. Put red with it.
Yeah, somebody's been paying attention. Yep, good
Yeah.
job. So you add a little bit of quinacridone red to it, and watch what happens when I blend those together.
Lovely.
Palms right down. And the nice thing is I've got an acrylic underpainting, so I can just take a little paper towel and wipe that away like I never did it. So I think you are onto something. So let's take a little bit of the phthalo green. I'm going to mix a little bit of the phthalo red. I mean, quinacridone red.
I find when I use phthalo green, I don't use ultramarine blue.
Yeah, I'm finding that with myself as well. The less. So let's go into our shadow cools and just scrub some of that in and see how it plays. And then we're going to come back in, add some warms, and then get into our skies. How does that sound? Especially since we're already over a little bit. So I'm just going to take some of this. So this is quinacridone red, phthalo green, which is one of my favorite color combinations. Look how gorgeous that is. And what's so fun is I just add a touch more quinacridone to it, quinacridone red, and watch what happens as it begins to transition. You see, I'm just kind of blending in, and this can all be the underpainting. This could, I mean, this is all being done so quickly. Let's grab a little of the quinacridone red. Class is dismissed.
You've bled all over the painting.
No kidding, yeah.
That ties in so nicely with the shadows in the front.
How you moving?
Isn't that interesting?
Now,
And again, this is just, 3 brush strokes in and a little bit of scrubbing, but I'm beginning to find a roadmap
I
of
think
the colors, of the temperatures.
and you're also using all transparent color. So
Right
you're
now, it's
basically
all transparent.
Yep.
Yeah,
So you're glazing over the top of the underpainting.
right. Exactly right. Let's see what happens if I come back to some of these colors that I mixed with the actually opaque paint. So white is opaque versus all the colors I just put on there were transparent. So let's just see. Pink that up a little more. It's all an experiment. It's all just testing and playing. And I wasn't intending to do this kind of transparent wash with today's demo. I was expecting to go a little bit more opaque and a little more direct.
I like the
Boy,
transparent washes.
isn't there magic in it?
Yeah, you can sneak up on things.
Let's bring some cool reds in. Let's just see. I'm just curious. Again, as soon as I start doing something, I'm like, what if? What if? What if? What if? And again, it's all wipe awayable, like having this underpainting. What if? What if? What if?
And you know what goes really well with that, the phthalo red, phthalo green and the quinacridone red is a little yellow to make it.
Oh, I thought you were going to say aged cheese and wine, but yeah.
That would be good.
Well, that's a good idea. Yeah.
All right, so let's see. I'm going to reveal some of this. So I basically put on some warm colors, which I kind of like. I like the movement. But what happens if
Like the wiped.
Wow, that looks foggy.
Look how the trees are just shadows in the background.
Yeah,
And he hasn't really had to paint them at all. Look at that. That's beautiful.
That looks so beautiful. Wow.
That's what I envisioned, Michael. Don't mess it up.
yeah. You're the only person I've been listening to all day, Linda. Don't worry.
Thank you.
Let's see what happens here. Let's brighten up that sky. Can you guys see that, Mark?
That sings.
I love painting with a real plan, but I love going into paintings with a half a plan. I love being happily surprised. But it does take a lot of failure, a lot of less than happy results to kind of go, what if, what if, what if? And then also the knowledge that, again, I got a paper towel. I can go back a step, kind of.
Really pretty.
And in those beginning phases where you're starting to paint a lot of different things instead of focusing on one thing, having that half of a plan, often like you can accidentally end up painting the same thing. So you think that you're painting different scenes, different color palettes, but because you're learning how the paint actually talks to each other in a painting or even on the palette, the colors will end up being the same, or there will be this like tonal similarity for like a good 5 years or so. So if you're in that phase at the moment, so are we. Don't worry.
Sorry, I didn't understand Australian.
I understood you.
Right.
Eloise. I understood you.
I was just so singularly focused. I apologize. So wait, what were you saying that Yeah, if I understood, and correct me, but what I thought I heard was that if I do the same thing over and over, even though I think I'm being creative, or, oh, no, you tell me. I have no idea.
Basically, you can buy all the paints in the world. You can think that you're going to make these really vivid, high contrast pieces. This is sort of like when you're like a hobby painter, especially at the beginning, when you start really seriously and you're like, okay, I'm going to practice, I'm going to learn how to paint green. Then when you look back at the catalog of all of the little things that you've painted and all the plans that you tried to execute with color, often I see in people that there is this tonal similarity that just comes out of the play phase. So when you're learning how colors do interact with each other, and this even happens to me, like a lot of my paintings end up with this gray or blue kind of look to them because I'm just drawn to those colors. And then it's taken me years and years to understand how to work them into something without working them into every single color. So that's where I think pre-mixing colors, or at least having a few that are the anchor for the plan, it can help you get out of that stage of learning to paint. If you like, I can tone up the Aussie and I can say it again if you didn't get it that time.
No. Yeah. Sorry.
Can I
I'm
say it
literally being kind of wowed by how the colors are mixing.
Gorgeous.
How I just added yellow with white and it looks cooler than the area above it.
Can I say it in American for you? Change your mother color base. That's how I get around it. I'll use a phthalo one time, or ultramarine and a quinacridone magenta or quinacridone rose, or I'll use ultramarine blue with the red. You know, I change the mother color, and then you have to add a little, you warm it and cool it differently, depending on what color you use.
That makes sense.
All right, I'm gonna get a little crazy and just see, I added a little Indian yellow. And I'm just gonna see how warm I can get on some of the periphery edges, if that's a shortcut or a horrible choice. Nope. Too yellow.
This is Brett. Yeah, I actually use the quinacridone red and the phthalo green as a background color for figure drawings. You know, and it's one of my favorites. And I find it shifts in a lot of different directions very easily. You know,
right, and is that because of the fact that it grays down so nicely, but also can be so vibrant if you just lean towards one color or the other?
If I put in another blue or another purple or yellow, it can shift a lot of different directions and really doesn't mud up as bad. You know,
it really doesn't. You're right.
And so for a quick, I'm doing a 20-minute painting and I want to get the negative space established. It's one of my favorites because it's quick to mix. You can shift around if you want to lighten it up or darken it. It's really easy to do that with. So,
what I love too is it grays down so quickly.
Yeah.
Just the more equal the combination of colors, it really does go towards a bluey gray really quickly.
I'll throw a diazine purple into it sometimes, or violet, or like say a darker blue, and it really it's got a lot of great combinations that I like working with. So it is one of my favorites. Also, times I'll use the turquoise green in the same combinations too, and it goes a little darker and it's got some different variations to it.
I learned, well, a couple years ago now, but phthalo or chromatic black is actually phthalo green and quinacridone red.
Oh.
Yep.
I have
And
a red black. I don't know what else is really in it, but it is just called red black. And it looks like black, but instead of it having that green or blue undertone when it's really
right.
thin, and it's just been a complete game changer.
Yeah, I'm gonna guess it's a quinacridone red or yeah, some version of that. But yeah, that's awesome because yeah, that is the one issue is when you are making blacks, they always go to greens or blues from out of the tube, all the variations. So that'd be nice to have that.
I really like mixing grays and browns and things using cadmiums. I find that they can really neutralize pretty much anything. So, and cadmium orange is one of my favorites to paint with, honestly. So highly
And
recommend.
then do you have a purple on your palette at the same time?
I have about 300 different things that I don't even read the name of, and I just go, yeah, I think that would work.
Okay.
It's just, I just look at things with this like sort of, I'm doing maths in my head. I'm like, okay, if this is a very loud orange, but I want to make a light, lovely gray, how many things can I add into it and still make it work? And then I just, yeah, I am a mess. I'm a messy painter.
If you want any advice on that, having a slightly limited palette will help you to at least be able to replicate what you're learning. I found when I had all the colors and pick out more and more colors, I would find magic things happening. But then even if I just ran out of paint, I couldn't figure out how to replicate the colors. But I do love playing with a lot of color. But you've been painting for a while and teaching and stuff, but I think for some students who are a little newer to the game, that having less colors on your palette makes it so that at least it's, like I have all the paint tubes that I've squeezed out today are sitting here, right? There's nothing worse than squeezing out your paint, running out of your paint, and then
Not
looking
figuring
through your drawer of 100 paintings or paint tubes and trying to remember.
Has the Borg just assimilated you? Oh no.
All right, hold on. You can still hear me, right?
Yep. Can't see
When I
it.
tried to put it back in the holder, all of a sudden it's like, you're calling 911.
Uh-oh.
All right, let me go back. Nope, it's making me sign my phone back in again. All right, you guys can see the phone.
There we go.
No, man, now I gotta
Oh, well done.
Give me 1 second.
Michael, you need to wear a cap and put your mic on a cap.
There you go.
Just go like full Britney Spears and have one of those the little cheap
That
ones.
would be fantastic, actually.
Get a red catsuit, latex. Why not?
No, you haven't seen my pants.
They jazz you up.
1 second, I'm still trying to figure out why I'm not able to mute it. There's you guys. I don't know if you guys can see that, but here's the studio. Here's this. And why can I not mute it? Gosh. All right, let's take another 5-minute break.
Okay.
Sorry about that. We're almost done too. I was just gonna kind of play with that, or we could finish the class. But... Oh, did that help? All right, there. Does that help?
Yes. Sounds better.
Okay. Phew. There's my keyboard. All right, sorry about that, you guys.
I still can't see you big.
Yeah, I think because it dropped off, it wasn't the focus anymore. Spotlight. Okay, there you go.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, it's kind of coming along here. I don't love the warmth colors that I added there, so I'm just gonna knock those back. I want a hint of them, but not too strong. That feels better.
This is kind of what I had in mind.
Yeah, it's nice. It's not warm or cool,
Yeah.
particularly. It's not like the reference, which is all golds. And it's not like the one I was thinking about, which is all blues, right?
Right.
So I like this transition. And then, the great thing is these paints are on there pretty thinly. So even if I'm just using these as guide colors, I can go down and have lunch and come back up and start scrubbing in again. I can bring in cooler dark colors. I could see, I don't really need them darker right now. I need them lighter. But let's just pretend we wanted some more contrast. You can see how I can just darken those lines, even though that looks horrible all of a sudden to me. See how those darks want to come forward?
Right.
So, good news.
Thank God for paper towels.
Yeah. All right, let's lighten this up. Let's see if we can get a little interesting and a little more dynamic. Right now, everything's very quiet, which I like. I personally like this, where it's at. But let's just see if we can play with it. Again, this is on cardboard. This is when we play. This is when we experiment. See how that just lit it up here a little bit?
Yeah, that's nice.
Big things.
And I don't have to do the whole sky, right? I can imagine my sun. Let's put the sun here. So I'm going to bring some of that, but I'm going to slightly darken that light so it's not quite as bright as in the sky, because almost all reflections are slightly dimmer, depending on the water, depending on the weather, depending on the conditions. See how that lit up that back there a little bit? Let's bring some light down into start to break up some of these shadow areas with a little bit of that reflected light. Differentiate some of these grasses so it's not just one big soft mound, but I don't want to overplay it. And what happens if, this is my scariest brush stroke yet. No, why did you do that? I hate this class.
Oh, no.
It's good that we're getting these unfiltered thoughts from you though, because a lot of us kind of see you and we're like, oh my God, it's so easy for him. And then when we're painting, we're like, I hate myself. I hate what I've done. But we all do it. We all do it, everyone.
Is it like snow?
It is like snow.
I
Yeah,
see
if I was painting.
the reflection to me. I think it's really like far in the distance. Maybe there's some sun hitting the water, but now that's gone. So don't worry about what I
So
said.
now it's haze or
It's
fog.
mist. It's mist over the water. I like it.
Beautiful. Very nice. See.
An unsolicited comment I heard while at the Stormy Weather Arts Festival is that Michael Orwick is such a painter of glow and light.
Oh, that's well, the mist is glowing and the light is beautiful. The morning sunlight here is a golden peachy orange in the morning, pale orange, just peachy, beautiful.
Is that your autumn sun or is it like that all the time?
No, it changes with the seasons. It's spring sun is like more yellow, clear. But when it hits like reflected light on the bushes and the mountaintops, it'll turn the purple mountaintop just like a red lavender. It's so bright and orangey pink, just beautiful.
Our light here right now is very golden.
Yeah, it's gold. It's gold. It's a beautiful golden color. And
That's
the
interesting.
shadows
Yeah,
of-
ours is kind of a mauve soft
yeah,
light in the mornings. It's much softer. It's more like this.
yeah. And the evening, the shadows are cooler and deeper. It's gorgeous.
All right, so I'm going to come across here and light up a couple areas. I actually like kind of this soft transition of what's going on here
Yeah.
a little bit, but I'm going to try and see if I can't break up this bank and a couple of these areas and maybe bring a little light into here. I may be pushing it right now. Maybe it would be a nice chance to take a lunch and come back and look at it, but let's just see what happens. I'm kind of picturing it as a soft pink, peachy, which is my favorite color in paintings, not when I dress, but light. I think it could get a little even more pink than that to differentiate, maybe create transitions between those lights and those shadows. Let's bring a little bit of reflected light down into the grasses and see if that works. See how I'm breaking up this big shape a little bit?
Mhm.
Hopefully. Do the same back here a little bit. A little too strong. Just took a dry, clean brush. Wipe that back in. Let's bring some, yeah, we're gonna warm up our light as we're coming forward, as it's getting into these grasses. So the contrast is going to jump and the color shifts and temperature shifts are going to jump as we come towards us in the areas that are picking up the light more directly. As they're breaking through, again, I think of multiple gossamer sheets. So things are getting softer and softer and softer. Whatever that light color is affecting, or if you want to be negative, infecting the things coming forward. So let's see if I can figure out some nice, happy colors that want to come forward towards us that are picking up some of that light. What I'm doing is very soft. I'm just letting my brush kind of skim across the top, pulling in some of that, I hope, texture and feeling of just loose grasses. Are you guys able to see the kind of highlights on the tops of these grasses?
Yeah.
Are they too delicate? It's nice when they come up into these shadow areas up here. So you get a bit of contrast there. And I want to think again about how these grasses are rolling. I'm on the shadow side, going towards the light on the top, but it's not direct light up here. It's the reflection from the sky. And not until I get to the backside is that the direct light coming from those, from the sun, which is an overcast, hazy sun. So it's going to be kind of soft. So if you are willing to be making up or coming to your paintings with a preconceived idea or design, but then how do I mean, what a difference, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And which one do you like more? Say this
The
one.
one you're working
This
on.
one.
Okay.
The one you're working on.
All right. You guys all get gold stars today.
Woohoo. I used to love gold stars in first and second grade.
So now I just need to create some transition in these grasses that are catching some of that light, because I just don't want it to go from light to dark. So some softer edges. So I just basically mixed a little bit of my grayed down greenish color with some of the color that I've got here. And I'll just create some transitions.
Look at
And
those
just
nice
texture.
greens. I imagine they're green. It looks green.
Yeah,
on
they're
the top.
greens and purples and
Yeah. Let's see, that's perfect. I like that phthalo green.
Yeah, it looks nice.
And it's pretty in the sky too, when you have a very pale. It goes in Arizona skies anyway.
yeah, let's see.
What's
the
phthalo
horizon.
blue do?
Phthalo blue and phthalo green are about, I can use them interchangeably.
Okay.
But I like the phthalo green because I can make it blue or I can make it more yellow, more green.
I wanted to see what would happen if I added a bit of that into the sky.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was waiting for.
Really strong. So I'll just add a little bit more white to
More
that.
white. Lots of white. and especially in the morning light, it'll be just all that yellow phthalo green with a lot of yellow and white. Just a speck. I mean, like a speck of phthalo.
I think that
Oh,
unified
that's
it.
lovely.
Like it.
Yes.
That little bit of cool up in
Yeah.
the sky.
Yeah, that brought it together.
Yeah, it did
Absolutely.
feel like disparate, didn't it?
That's enough.
And soften that edge. And then I'm going to take a little bit of that cool down into our fog. Oops.
Yeah.
A little bit. Never done until I've ruined it.
It's that kind of optimism we admire.
Yes. And that's the color of the dust a lot of times. With a little more yellow in it.
So now this spot stands out too much because it's the only phthalo in the painting. So I'll just add a touch of warmth to it and neutralize that.
Oh, amazing.
Well,
Love
there
it.
we go. Only 40 minutes long, but
Gorgeous.
Love it.
Yeah.
and then I can come through with some of these cools. I mean, I can just play and play and play and play. I can take some of this and bring in some cools, which beautiful in the shadows. Let those bounce around. Really play them up in the foreground. Better if I sneak up on this a little bit, or at least test it out.
Yep.
Oh,
But
I can actually see that green.
so what you're doing is creating a vibration, right? A
Yeah.
bounce of colors next to each other.
Yeah.
But that's what makes it pop.
Yeah.
Right. All of a sudden, we're no longer tonalists.
We're Regenius.
Yes.
We're what? Regeniists, yes,
Yes.
indeed.
Michael, on the second that on the left, that island thing back there, right in back of those flowers or those colors, that needs to be darker or something, or they need to be lighter.
Love it, love it, love it. Great observation. Let's go crazy, shall we? That way we can blame you on this painting going south. But watch this. Let's go crazy.
Ooh.
Too much. Why?
Yes, but blend it in.
Do as you're told, Michael.
What'd you say?
I said, do as you're told.
Now put some
All right.
mist over it too.
Yeah, you're right. We need some mist.
Yeah, a little more mist
Because
back there. It's
show up
good.
really.
Better.
Better.
Now, if I could paint like that.
Mm.
Then
would
you
be-
wouldn't need me.
Oh, well, I always would have need you, Michael.
All right, let's see. Let's see if we can get a little too crazy and add some strong, warm, yet soft light. I don't even know if those words all go together. Where's my sun at? My sun is here.
Mm. Oh, yes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Wow.
Cooper, that's enough.
Come on, Cooper, do better.
No, he wants a piece of my crackers.
Looks as if it's the sort of time that the foxes and badgers would come down to the water to drink.
That is exactly right.
Before anybody disturbs them.
Yeah, I think you could have just named this painting Foxes and Badgers.
And everybody's
Make people
keep
stare at this painting and looking for them and feel so disappointed that they're not actually in it.
Well, if you did the right kind of little shadow, you could imagine one.
Right, yeah.
Oh, now that's soothing. That's beautiful.
That's, this line here is feeling a little flat.
That yellow is now making a lovely bounce off the red of the or the pink of the reeds in the front.
Yeah.
It looks really pretty together.
See how that, just those lines coming,
Mhm.
cascading down, add
Yeah.
a little bit of motion and movement.
Yes.
Yeah.
You can push that back in here as well. And then all day long, I could come in and sculpt my grasses. I mean, look at, there's no green in this whole painting. All right, I can, you know, didn't we start with phthalo green?
Yeah.
Let's see what happens if I put some phthalo
That'll
green in
scream
there.
at you.
It's gonna scream.
Oh, that's not so bad.
It's not too bad.
That's pretty nice, actually.
Hide in anywhere else.
A phthalo by any other name. There we go, folks.
Wow.
Wow, I think it's lovely.
Wonderful.
Beautiful.
It's beautiful, Michael.
And I only dropped my painting or my camera once.
It's really
I don't know
lovely.
if it's gonna let me zoom in, but I'll get a photo of it for you guys. But that was a ton of fun. So last week we did with the glazing and different tricks, and there's still a lot I can come into, but this is a good start to this for sure, especially since it's painted on cardboard. And this might be the good stopping point. And then if I really like it, then, you know, set it up, redo it again. And I learned a lot.
So did we. Gosh.
So did we.
Very nice.
Fantastic.
Thank you guys.
Beautiful.
All right. Well, happy Wednesday afternoon or morning for some of us.
Thank you for the over
Let's go
delivery.
ahead and check in.
Eloise, which morning is it? Wednesday or Thursday?
Well, I'm sort of living in a timeless dimension. But
Probably Sunday.
technically, Thursday morning at 8:17.
Oh my
It's
goodness.
crazy.
Wow.
Wow.
You are
And
so
I'm-
good.
It's a day ahead.
I'm teaching in 4 hours and then again 4 hours after that. And then after that, I'm going into a coma. That's all.
Great. All right. Well, say hello to the future for us.
Yes.
Future is bright, everyone. Unless
Good.
you're a nocturne painter, then it is.
Fantastic. Well, does anybody have any parting questions? The homework, huh? What's the
Oh,
homework?
yes.
I totally forgot that. Homework is to work on pre-mixing colors and just kind of figuring that out and how you would apply that. So you saw that when I pre-mix, I am never sad that I do. When I pre-mix my colors, so I figure out my design, my black and white or value study, and then pre-mix the colors. And it's really seeing how they play together. You saw how much I adjusted them. But at the same time, if you pre-mix and just kind of see how they play out on your palette, sure, helpful. Do not be slavish to your reference photos colors. Right? I mean,
Absolutely.
right. Have fun. Have fun with color. Make sure they match your bathroom. You should be good. Well, thank you guys so much. I had a really fun time looking at your guys' work. seeing what's going on with how you're progressing, and yeah, just painting and playing and working on just pre-mixing colors, thinking about your palette before you jump in. And again, it seems like a lot of work, but if I just did all of this laid out and timed it, I'm into this painting for about 2 hours, you know, between the black and the white version of it and this, maybe even less. And imagine if I wanted to do this as a 30-inch by 40-inch or something like that, right? It would save me hours and hours and hours on the back end of messing things up and making things not read well together. So a little bit of pre-work on the foreground, on the front end, really, really helps. And it's a lot of fun too, because you're freer with it. You're freer with your design, you're freer with your thumbnails, you're freer with your color mixing, that you would come up with color palettes and ideas that you maybe wouldn't be if you just took a paintbrush and approached a large canvas, right? It's very daunting.
Yeah,
So have
I'm
fun.
also finding that if I pre-mix colors, I'm less stingy. I'm more likely to mix enough color, a little pile of color, rather if I just mix on the fly, it's usually just too little color. And then I waste so much time trying to match that color later.
Yeah, absolutely. And that, for especially those of you that are newer to painting, a limited palette is great. You know, for me, it's 2 yellows, 2 reds, 2 blues, and then you can see I have a bit of green. But for a year and a lot of times I still go back to 1 yellow, 1 red, 1 blue. You want to, whatever red, yellow, blue you lay out, test it to see if you can get a nice dark, an almost black with that. That's kind of your test. But yeah, I mean, there's no rules that you can't have 2 yellows, 1 red, 2 blues, right? But the least amount of colors will help you in color harmony. The more colors you lay out, the more, the higher your chances are of all of a sudden having something that's not playing nicely with others, and throwing everything out of whack. Phthalo blue was that for me for years. In fact, I still don't use phthalo blue, hardly ever. Phthalo green somehow is a little more controllable, but I know that if I have phthalo green, as long as I have quinacridone red, they make each other behave.
Yeah.
It's like having a big mean sister and a big mean brother, and they take care of each other.
They get mellow.
Yeah, they do. Yeah. So I don't know. That was a bad comparison. But yeah. Anyways, yeah, I need to go have some breakfast / lunch, and it was a pleasure, you guys. Thank you so much. And I will get our next assignment out. Your assignment this week is, even if it's just pre-mixing colors, if you just take photos of your palettes and pre-mix some piles, that's fantastic. But I want you to reflect on pre-mixing your palette before painting and how that affects you, if you like it or do you find it constricting. You'll notice that I pre-mixed a bunch of colors, but then I was still constantly manipulating them and altering them as my ideas change, or as I should say, our ideas changed. And yeah. Anything else?
No.
I think it was a great lesson today. Thank you.
It's
Good.
wonderful.
That's great. Thank you, Michael.
Awesome.
Thank
We'll
you
see
so
you guys
much.
tomorrow.
Yeah. So yeah, remember tomorrow. See you guys tomorrow.
Thanks, Michael.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Take care.
Bye.